everyone, and welcome back to Lucky Loaders 15, where I'll be giving you 2 tips for tomorrow's horse racing action. Now, before we get into them, quickly just want to apologise for not making a video on here the last couple of days. However, I did mention it in my last video that I would be inactive, and also as well I mentioned it on Twitter. That's the place to follow me on social media, where if you don't follow me on Twitter, my handle is @LuckyLoader15. So let's get into it then. 2 tips for tomorrow's racing. Hopefully keep this video short and sweet for you. And our nap is going to be running in the last race at Brighton, which is the 4:25. And I thought Raven's Ark could be the one to be with here. This is going to be my nap, and you can currently back it at the time of recording at 3-1. I'm going to recommend a 1-point win bet here for Charlie Bennett and Hughie Morrison. Now, I think this horse could now be down to a really dangerous mark. He's now got a rating of 70. Now, if you go back through his form last season as a 3-year-old, he took a couple of runs to come to hand, but when he found the winning thread, he did it really nicely. He won twice on the all-weather at Lingfield and Kempton, and then Hughie stepped him up in class to the Lavetza Stakes, which is always a really warm handicap at Ascot every year in September. It was won by Shandos for Roger Varian, and there was plenty of horses rated in there in the 90s. Even Kips for Hughie Morrison, his stablemate, ran in that race, and he's been tried in group company a couple of times but hasn't lived up to the billing. But what I'm trying to get at, this horse has ran in some decent handicaps. He also as well ran in the old Rowley Mile Cup, where he was actually raised £5 for his 4th place effort in the Lavetza Stakes, where he ran very well and probably just suffered as a result of that and was a bit high in the weights. He's run a couple of times since then and had a break in between, and actually made his reappearance last time out at Lingfield, where he ran respectively. He wasn't too far beaten at all. He was well found in the market that day at 9-2, where Connections probably expected a big run from him, but I think he probably needed the run. I think Hughie's always need a run. I don't always think they're stable to catch fresh, but he's had that experience now, and I think down to a mark of 70 on some of his form from last season, he could be thrown in. This isn't a particularly strong race as well. It's quite a weak race compared to his last time outing at Lingfield, and like I said, off a mark of 70, I think he's more than capable in a race of this nature. He's still unexposed on the turf. I know all his best form, like I said, had come on the all-weather, but he's only had 3 starts, and 2 of them were in really decent competitive handicaps where he probably was just always going to be outclassed. So dropping back into this company tomorrow, or keeping in it I should say, because it was a class 5 when he ran last time at Lingfield, staying in this company down to a really workable mark in a weak race, I think he's got tons in his favour tomorrow. Also as well, we had a nice winner on Friday with Hughie Morrison, as Surrey Gold, you might remember, absolutely bolted up at Newbury. So maybe the odds are just starting to turn a corner now, and I think, yeah, 3-1, I think this one should take all the beating, and that's why he's going to be my nap of the day. We then go to the 7:25 for my next best of the day for a bit of summer jumps action at Huntingdon, and my next best here is going to be Stoney Mountain for Gavin Sheehan and Jamie Snowden. At the current time recording, this horse was available at 4-1 with Sky Bet, and I'm going to recommend a 1-point win bet here as my next best of the day. Now, this horse, like our previous selection, is now down to a really workable mark. He's now down to a mark of 138, which is his last winning mark when he won the Grade 3 handicapper at the Betfair Chase meeting back in November at Haydock, where he was an impressive winner that day. And that's always normally a really warm race. Has produced some nice horses over the years. Remember Paisley Park won it a couple of years ago, so always normally a really hot handicap. And he's now down to that last winning mark, like I said, of 138. After that, he kind of never refound that form for Henry Daly. He was actually previously owned by Trevor Hemmings, but yeah, he kind of went over fences, didn't really work for him, ran over hurdles a couple of times, ran okay, but was always probably a little bit too high in the weights. But the handicapper's now given him a chance, and I thought his last run at Aintree, where he was running for Jamie Snowden, was actually not a bad effort at all when he finished in 7th place. He was dropped a couple of pounds for that effort, and I think this is definitely a really winnable race for him tomorrow. It's a small field, not too many runners in it, and Jamie Snowden's horses are absolutely flying at the moment. They're operating at a 33% strike rate, 5 winners from the last 15 rides, and I just think this horse has got a lot in his favour tomorrow. The favourite in the race is John Joe Neal's horse, but he's been raising the weights quite a lot, and even though 1 or 2 horses from his Newbury win have come out and franked the form and it didn't look a bad race at the time, I think he's just been hyped up a little bit too much in the weights, and I think Stoney Mountain might just bring a bit of class here for, like I said, an informed yard that are going great guns, and they're normally always a yard you want to keep on side in the summer jump season. Jamie Snowden seems to do really well at this time of year, so a lot to like about this horse tomorrow. around in his favour. There'll be a bit of pace as well, so I imagine he'll just track the likes of Valtor. Also as well, Phil Hobbs' horse could go forward. So yeah, lots in his favour tomorrow, and I'm expecting a good run. And I think he could arguably go off near favourite come post time. I think he'll have a lot of backers tomorrow, including myself. So yeah, he's going to be my next best of tomorrow, and he rounds off the final tip of the day. So if you're still enjoying these videos, remember to hit that thumbs up button, subscribe here to my YouTube channel at LuckyLoaders15. Like I said at the top of the video, if you want to follow me on Twitter, my handle is at LuckyLoader15. And if you want to find out a little bit more about myself, remember to check out my website, which is www.chrisloaderracing.co.uk. So please game responsibly. Hopefully we can have a couple of winners tomorrow, and we'll be seeing you soon.